Dodge once built a car so powerful it could lift its front wheels off the ground, straight from the factory. The legendary 426 HEMI is widely considered one of the greatest V8s in history. It was built for NASCAR, and the name HEMI comes from the hemispherical combustion chambers that maximize power and efficiency at high RPMs. And speaking of power, the Dodge Charger Hellcat uses a 2.4-liter supercharger. It's big enough to produce that iconic whine that fans call the Hellcat scream. Those were just 2 facts about the mighty Dodge. Now, let's jump into all 45. Fact 3. Dodge was founded in 1900 by brothers John and Horace Dodge. They started out making mechanical parts for other car makers, including Ford. Long before they built their own cars, Dodge was already known for rock-solid engineering. Fact 4. Dodge's first car, launched in 1914, was nicknamed Old Betsy. It quickly earned a reputation for being tougher than any Ford on the road. Fact 5. The Dodge brothers actually helped fund the Ford Motor Company, but after some major strategic disagreements, they cut ties and became direct competitors. Fact 6. Dodge built its reputation on durability. In fact, many Dodge trucks were used by the U.S. Army during World War I. Fact 7. In the 1960s, the Dodge Polara became a staple for American police departments because its power and durability were perfect for high-speed pursuits. Fact 8. From the start, Dodge branded itself as the tougher, more aggressive option, while others focused on luxury or fuel economy. Fact 9. Dodge was a massive player in the golden age of muscle cars during the 60s and 70s, going head-to-head with Ford and Chevy. Fact 10. The Dodge Charger became a cultural icon by blending aggressive styling with raw, massive V8 power. Fact 11. The Dodge Coronet was one of the brand's most important muscle cars of the 60s, serving as the base for high-performance builds for both the street and the drag strip. Fact 12. The Dodge Super Bee arrived in 1968 as an affordable muscle car that didn't sacrifice performance. Even as a budget model, you could drop the legendary 426 HEMI under the hood. Fact 13. The 1968 Dodge Charger RT became world famous thanks to the Dukes of Hazzard. The orange car, the General Lee, did some insane jumps. It's estimated they destroyed over 300 Chargers during filming. Fact 14. The Dodge Challenger launched in 1970 to take on the Mustang and Camaro, focusing on brute force and road presence. Fact 15. The Dodge Dart might sound like a simple car, but it had some high-performance versions that absolutely dominated in drag racing. Fact 16. During the muscle era, Dodge never shied away from going over the top. Massive engines, intimidating looks, and a pure focus on performance. Fact 17. Dodge had a huge footprint in NASCAR in the 60s and 70s. The 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona was the first NASCAR car to break 200 mph on an oval track. Fact 18. The 1969 Daytona had that iconic long nose cone because engineers realized the standard Charger had too much drag at high speeds. Fact 19. That massive rear spoiler on the Daytona wasn't just for show. It was there to keep the car glued to the pavement at 200 mph. Fact 20. The Daytona was built purely to win. Its aerodynamics were so extreme that it was eventually banned from racing. Fact 21. The Dodge Charger 500 was created because the standard Charger struggled with aerodynamics. Dodge redesigned the front end to make it a speed demon. Fact 22. During the 80s, the humble Dodge Aries became one of the most important cars in the company's history. It was part of the Chrysler K platform, which literally saved the group from bankruptcy. Fact 23. The 80s Dodge Omni GLH was developed with the legendary Carroll Shelby. The GLH stood for Goes Like Hell. Fact 24. In the 90s, Dodge surprised everyone with the Stealth, a high-tech sports car developed with Mitsubishi. It shared tech with the 3000 GT, including all-wheel drive and twin-turbo engines. Fact 25. The Dodge Intrepid redefined American sedans in the 90s with its cab-forward design, pushing the windshield forward to create massive interior space. Fact 26. The Dodge Viper was developed with heavy input from Lamborghini, which was owned by Chrysler at the time. The result was a brutal V10 that turned the Viper into one of the wildest cars ever built in the States. Fact 27. The first production Viper in 1992 had no traction control, no side airbags, and no traditional door handles. It was basically a race car with license plates. Fact 28. The Dodge Neon SRT4 became a legend in the 2000s, with performance that could humble sports cars costing twice as much. Fact 29. The Dodge Magnum was a wild sport wagon from the 2000s that shocked the market by offering HEMI V8 power, something you almost never saw in a wagon. Fact 30. Dodge was the birthplace of the Ram truck line, which started as a model and eventually grew into its own standalone brand. Fact 31. The Ram logo symbolizes strength, aggression, and durability, the core values of the brand. Fact 32, the Dodge Ram SRT-10 stuffed the V10 engine from the Viper into a pickup. It landed in the Guinness World Records as the world's fastest production truck, hitting over 150 mph pace. Fact 33, the Dodge Challenger drag pack isn't for the street. It's a factory-built race car specifically for professional drag racing. Fact 34. In 2014, Dodge blew everyone's minds with the Challenger Hellcat. With over 700 horsepower, it was the most powerful production cars in the world. Fact 35. At full throttle, the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat is so thirsty that you could actually empty the gas tank in about 13 minutes. Fact 36. The Dodge Durango Hellcat is one of the most powerful SUVs ever made, combining family hauler space with insane performance. Fact 37. The Dodge Durango SRT can go from 0 to 60 mph in about 4 seconds, mind-blowing for a 3-row SUV. Fact 38. The Challenger Hellcat Red Eye pumps out over 790 horsepower, putting it in the same league as European supercars that cost way more. Fact 39. The Challenger Demon was built specifically for the Strip. It's basically a street-legal race car, and it's famous for being able to pull a wheelie, something almost no production car can do. Fact 40. The SRT Demon was the first production car in the world to come from the factory with street-legal drag radial tires. Fact 41. The Challenger Demon 170 can sprint from 0 to 60 in just 1.66 seconds, making it one of the quickest production cars on the planet. Fact 42. The Dodge Charger Daytona SRT is an electric concept that uses a fratsonic chambered exhaust. It simulates a V8 sound to keep that aggressive Dodge vibe alive, even without a gas engine. Fact 43. The Dodge Challenger Black Ghost is a special edition inspired by a mysterious Challenger in Detroit that dominated illegal street races in the 70s before disappearing into thin air. Fact 44. Launched in 2023, the Dodge Hornet was the first plug-in hybrid from the brand. Some fans weren't thrilled, arguing it felt more like a rebadged Alfa Romeo Tonale than a true Dodge muscle car. And finally, Fact 45. Even as the industry shifts to electric, cars like the Challenger and Charger remain the last true stand-ins for the golden age of American V8 muscle.